everyone, this is day 26 of the 100 days Leetcode and data structures challenge. So the question for today, maximum subarray. Given an integer array nums, find the subarray with the highest sum and return with the largest sum and return its sum. So we have an array, right? We have -2, 1, 4, -2, -3, an array nums, right? And in this problem, when I looked at it, the first thing I thought of was the sliding window approach, where I have a frame where I create subarrays within an array using a sliding window. So I can have. I also thought of using a two-pointer approach, but I'm going to go with sort of like a sliding window approach. The brute force solution would be me using multiple for loops. But the reason I'm not going to go with a brute force solution is it's going to take O of n cube time complexity, and that's not the best. So right now, I'm going to create subarrays, right? And I'm going to start from here, okay? So I'll start from -2, then I'll add it +1, that's -1. I don't think I'm going to focus on negative numbers simply because it's not helping me with anything, right? I want to find the maximum, and negative numbers can never be the maximum. So I'm just going to skip here and start from 1. So 1 plus -3, that's -2, that's still negative. So I'm going to remove that. Now from 4, I have 4 plus -1, that's 3, so that's not negative. Plus 2, that's 5. Plus 1, that's 6. So this is pretty good. If I do this, add this, this is 1, then 5. But if I just leave it here, that's 6. So this is my maximum subarray. So let's get into solving this problem. So the first thing I'm going to say is my max sub. Remember I said I would start from the first element in the array. So my max array, right? My max subarray is equal to the first number, the first element in my array. And then after that, I'm going to look at my current sum because I want to know what my current sum is, because that's what I'm going to be using to compare and then return the largest subarray. So my current sum is 0 right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through the entire array. I'm going to loop through the entire array, and I'm going to check that if my current sum is 0, if my current sum is less than 0, I'm going to make my current sum 0, and then I'm going to be adding each element in my array. Okay, I'm going to be adding each element in my array. So I'm going to say for n in nums, right? Or let me use a different example. I can just say for number in nums. So I'll just say for number in nums, I'm going to say if my current sum is less than 0, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my current sum to 0. Okay, and I'm going to start incrementing it. So if my current sum is less than 0, I'm going to just set it to 0 because I don't want it to be negative. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this, right? I don't want what I'm adding together to be negative, so I'm just going to start from scratch if it is less than 0. If I can have a number that is -10, that's not what I want. So current sum is equal to 0, and then what's going to happen is that I'm going to be incrementing the current sum with my number. So I'm going to be adding everything from the current sum. I'm going to be adding everything to the current sum using my number. So I'm going to say cur sum plus equal to n. Okay? Now, my max array is now going to be the maximum of my max array and the current sum. Okay, so that's what I'm going to return. So my max array, right, the max subarray is going to be equal to the maximum of my max array and the current sum. So the highest value that I have in my max array, the array that has the highest current sum is what I'm going to be returning. So now I'm going to return cur sum. Actually, no, mistake. If I return cur sum, it's going to return just the maximum sum of the values, which is not what I want, right? I want to return the subarray, so I'm going to return max array. Okay, now let's step through this together before I submit. So at first I started with the first number there, and my current sum was 0, 2. So I'm looping through all the numbers in the nums array, and I'm saying that, oh, if my current sum is less than 0, meaning if it's a negative number, then just change it to 0. So I'm going to be adding all the numbers in nums, okay? Then my max array is now going to be the maximum array that has the highest sum. So let's run this. I'm using my iPad, that's why it looks different. Okay, cur sum is not defined. I defined cur sum over here though. Okay, sorry. Python is case sensitive, so you have to be careful with those type of errors. Cur sum, okay, I think it's good now. Let's run it. Okay, so this worked. Thank you for watching. If you have another approach in the chat, you can post there. If you have questions, ask. I'm also still learning, so this is a learning process for me. I'm just sharing what I learned. So yes, have a nice day.